All right, welcome back to another episode of walking through the MT Pro 4 software. Today we're going to cover how to deal with the lack of AC coupling. A lot of more popular scopes have AC coupling as an option. This does not, at least not that I've found. But it doesn't even matter because we can overcome that. So right now we're looking at a starter battery test, alternator test file. So you can see the starter and stuff in here. Well, with the engine running, you can see it is charging, but you can see there's a ripple here. Well, we want to find out, is that ripple acceptable? Well, it's really hard to measure that. Sure, we could zoom in. We can shrink our file way down and then zoom way, way, way in and then see if we can make sense of it, but that doesn't really work. So how we overcome that is we're going to go ahead and open up our spectrum analyzer. So you're going to click on analysis, go down to Vibro Diagnostics. And what that does is when you click on that, it opens up your spectrum analyzer. It'll usually be in a tab like this. And all you have to do is select the right channel here in your spectrum analyzer. So this is channel 2 here, volts. And then on the bottom of the screen, we'll close these here for a second. So on the bottom of the screen, it automatically gets rid of your DC offset. And what I mean by DC offset is here. So you can see our midpoint in our file, or on our trace, if we're at a 15 volt scale. So our midpoint is actually 0 on the oscilloscope. So you can see that we have a 14.5 volt offset. Well, that doesn't do any good for being able to zoom in and measure that. So on the spectrum analyzer, what it does is it sets our 0 offset at the 0 or the DC measured voltage of the trace. And you can see whatever we have on this screen is represented here. And you can make this bigger and smaller. And just to show you that, we're gonna go back to where the starting event is. And you can see that shows up on here. Then now our 0 point is different. But what we want to see is that alternator ripple. So we're gonna move this so that's the only thing in our window. And we're gonna go back to the spectrum analyzer, and we can see it actually changes right about the middle here. So let's try to get a little more of that. So you can see here's the ripple here, and I believe that's before I turn on the loads. Yeah, that's before I turn on the loads. It actually smooths out with the loads on. And then here it is again with the loads on at high RPM. So let's go here. And you can see how now we have alternator ripple that we can see and measure. And we can zoom in on this just like we would normally. We can put up markers. But then there's no boxes to click to get our markers up. So what we have to do is go over here to our scale, right click, go down to measured marks block, and that brings that up. So now you can see the difference between your low and your high is 84 millivolts, which is well within a reasonable amount of alternating current or AC leakage or AC ripple in this system. So we're not concerned with it, but this is how we would determine that using, instead of being able to use AC couple, this is how we're going to get here and measure this easily. And of course you could use this for all sorts of other things like ABS wheel speed sensors, where they have a the 12 volt bias, or they're the current sensing sensors. And a lot of guys will still check those by back probing and measuring voltage, and you can see that voltage go up and down, and then you don't have to AC couple to be able to see that waveform. You can just record it, open up your spectrum analyzer, make sure you have it in this window, and then come over here and you can see it here AC coupled. I hope that helps you. That helps get you through whatever you're trying to do, whatever you need to do to get that where you can see a lot more definition in the signal without that DC offset. So I know this is a quick one, but I just wanted to cover that. I may make some videos in the future getting in-depth into the spectrum analyzer, but that is a whole video series all on its own. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know, and I can work on that. Otherwise, I'm going to more or less stick to automotive applications and the uses without getting super in-depth into the spectrum analyzer. Unless an occasion arises where I'm using that in the field, I'll be more than happy to show you how we're using that effectively in the field. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Thanks.